Alrighty then, Successful Indie Author 5-Minute Focus, episode 762. Keep your head up. There's Stanley, he's got his head up because he wants to go out, but it's still early, it's still dark, and it's snowing. So we're not going out for a little while until it lightens up out there. Alright, keep your head up. As an author, you're doing something that others can only dream about. You get to use your imagination to craft stories, and you are an artist. And even if you don't feel artsy, like me, I never feel artsy. If you see any of my art, if you've seen any of my PowerPoints that I used to give in the military, all of that stuff shows a serious lack of visual talent. My books do okay, though. Telling stories, great with that, feel good with it. You're an artist. You're putting that into the minds and the imaginations of your readers, and they are enjoying the entertainment that you provide. So that's a rarity. Even if you don't have great sales, you have entertained people with your books. Legacy. You leave a legacy that'll go well beyond your life with your books. They're going to be around forever. They may lose a little visibility later in life, but they can always come back. You see a lot of books from authors in the early 1900s, the late 1800s, and there they are, books, hey, and people are hungry for more. If they could only have more. Once they get out of copyright, people make new stories in that same world. You can do that. It's legal. So legacy. What does your legacy look like? Also, being an author, it's much better and cheaper than drugs or golf or a lot of other hobbies out there. It takes a lot of time. That's one thing that this hobby that can become a profession does. It takes time. It takes time, especially as you're writing your book. You may write fast, you may type fast, but the story itself and just getting out and getting one, it's just you, and you can focus on the story and lose yourself within that world that you've created. Or even if it's nonfiction, you're still losing yourself in this style, this lifestyle, whatever you're trying to teach people, you become one with it. Still, much better, cheaper than drugs. Camaraderie, as an author, you have peers, you have compatriots, you get to go to really, really cool conferences like 20 Books Vegas, coming up in 35 days from today when we record this. Stuff like that, really cool conferences. Go, even if you only published one book, because then it'll make you want to write a second book. And if you publish 5 books, it'll make you want to write 10. No matter what you do, there's always farther to go, but also look how far you've come. And you can share that with your author peers, your author compatriots. And a place like 20 Books Vegas, we don't highlight any special authors. You'll be waiting in line at the cash bar after the end of the workday, and you'll be talking to somebody, and they'll go off, and somebody will say, hey, do you know who that was? They were number one in the entire Amazon store for 2 weeks straight. Oh, really? Yeah, millionaire. And they didn't buy you a beer. No, they didn't know who you were. But you didn't know who they were either. And that's the great thing about author peers at these kinds of shows. And the glory of your whole being. I thought that was a great innuendo, the glory of your whole. But anyway, the glory of your whole being is you get to live in your mind. You get to express the thoughts you've had in a way that others can internalize. Maybe they've had the same thoughts. Maybe they've had the same ideas. And that's why they read your books, because they're not writing them, but you are. So you are filling that need for other people. And that is the glory of the whole being that you can be, because you're using your mind, you're using your imagination, you're still going about your everyday business, and look at where you are. Look how far you've come. Look how far you want to go. And then look at those other people around you you've influenced, like your readers, like your friends, like when you're at a really cool conference like 20 Books Vegas, and you're talking with other authors there, and it is a great, great feeling. So keep your head up. Peace, fellow humans.